So last time, you all delved into the sewers underneath Anvilgard, and you uh, uncovered, stumbled upon, whatever, um, a Skaven hold, or a Skaven laboratory, which is where you currently still are. Here you encountered plague priests, acolytes, rat ogres. It seemed like a venerable Skaven type that you encountered here. Um, Individuals from all sorts of clans, uh, and you dispatched them. Um, and one situation, I believe it was Shadel. You also blew up one of the plague cauldrons with one of your attacks.
Yeah, on the left.
Yeah, that would be on the workshop platform. Yeah, so we're picking up basically as soon as that combat ended. You're in this Skaven laboratory, this Skaven workshop, and you have a single plague cauldron on section B that is still currently active. And yeah, you have the run of the place. So no, at the very least, to your knowledge, there is no remaining Skaven forces in the area at the moment. So you have the run of the place.
I want to look for anything valuable or that we should be taking back for like proof of the deed to Krell and or the council.
I think
Sure.
we should move away from B and then blow it up.
Okay. So you want to investigate around, like look for. Yeah, you want to find something that's suitable to bring back, and like say, hey, we did the deed.
Mm-hmm.
You want to blow up platform B, or at least the plague cauldron.
Yeah, the plague cauldron.
Anything else you want to do here?
Look for Charwind.
Sure. So give me any of you who are going to like sift through. So are you just looking for something to bring back, or are you like sifting through like things that are here to see if there's anything?
I think step one, find something to bring back, and then if no one's rushing Joe out, she would absolutely just curiosity take over and look for just other interesting things, start sifting through stuff.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So for the record, you don't really have like anything pressing going on here. You don't like hear any more roaring or any more like scuttling about. This place truly seems to just be the five of you, just kind of floating here, or just kind of mulling about here. So you really can take as much time as you need, or as much time as you want. But with regards to looking around for anything to bring back, I forget. Hold on.
Let me sidetrack you.
Sure.
Is there any? Can I detect any ether gold around here?
Any ether gold?
I would be shocked if there was anything about that.
I was about to say I'm gonna say no, but you and Loris, everything is. You and Loris both see, just like in the air, what is very clearly like warpstone fragments and like particles. So at the very least, this place is like very contaminated to the point where being down here without a gas mask, or being a Skaven, or being a Sylvaneth, or like Taiwan, a Seraphim, would probably be lethal to anyone who's in this room without any of those protective means. Yeah. So, Joe, if you're looking for something, like you're peeling around here, looking for something to bring back, some show of what you've done here. And yeah, sturdy bark is actually right near one of the major things that you notice. You just see floating in the pools of poison and bile below you, just the floating corpse of the plague priest that was running about here.
I'm gonna tie my grappling hook to a nearby thing and then try to fish them up.
Sure.
I mean, I can just reach in and get them.
Or that.
So, yeah, after you trying to fish it up, I mean it's quite a large rat, right? He's not exactly the easiest thing to get a hold of. Sturdy Bark, you come up alongside Joe and just kind of motion for them to stop, to put their grappling hook away as you reach down, elongate your branches, and just wrap up around the plague priest and pull him out of the water.
Oh, thank you.
I don't want this.
Taiwan hisses at it.
Yeah, I think Bagoosh is going to eat it, so I'll do my best to carry it.
No, it's alright. I could carry it.
Now, Bagoosh, look over there, and I'm going to point to just, like, the pile of corpses at E. Be like, have those instead.
Oh! I pick up one of the... Were they rat ogres or were they...
There's a mix.
There were some.
Oh, you
normal
got a mix of
also red
things.
I'm gonna fucking just start eating.
Sure.
It's victory feast time.
Shadel and Loris, while Sturdy Bark and Joe are fishing up the plague priest, on the bridge you're standing on, you notice a couple of barrels just kind of float under the bridge and kind of just float past you. Could I get an awareness? Let's say like a 4-1 out of both of you.
Of which two?
This was going to be Loris and Shadel.
I did it on my 1 dice.
Is this a sight test?
This is going to be a sight test.
Is it 4-2?
4-1.
4-1. Oh.
Yeah, it's not like it's moving fast. It's kind of just floating with what little tide or what little pull there is here. Yeah. So, amongst one of these barrels that's floating under the bridge you're standing on, you make something out. You are able to make out what looks like an insignia. It's actually something both of you have seen. In fact, everyone in your party has seen on more than one occasion. You've seen this like symbol, this coat of arms, let's call it, plastered over many a warehouse in the harbor district of this city.
You said this is a barrel or like a crate floating beneath us?
Yep, just a
Are
barrel.
there any of them not floating beneath us, like on the sideline, or no?
Yeah, I mean, you see a bunch of barrels on either side.
I'm gonna go open up an identical barrel that's like not in the water and see if what's in it.
Does the icon on it match what's on the banners in the I don't remember the name for the Parliament room.
Oh, the conclave chambers?
Yeah, the conclave chambers.
You can't really tell exactly based on it. This looks familiar to something you've seen before.
Okay.
But Loris, upon closer inspection, going up to one of these barrels, and opening it up and being able to just observe it more closely, you, for starters, seeing just a very clean version of this coat of arms, you're able to tell, yes, you've seen this before. In fact, all of you have seen this very close before. You've seen this hanging in the conclave chambers, actually. In fact, as you would all be able to recognize this if you have, as you've all seen it, you recognize this to be a coat of arms associated with Councilwoman Ulana's shipping company.
And what did I see in the crate or in the barrel?
In some of the barrels on B, you peel through a couple of them. One of them you notice has some plants, which you, being a resident here, recognize to be some of the more vicious vegetation from outside the city. Another one of them has some what looks like dead fish just piled in it. If you keep peering through them, the next one you come across has what looks like rotted hands and rotted body parts in it, which is giving off, would be giving off an overwhelming stench if not for the surrounding environment you're in. And the last one that you open the lid on, you see something odd. You see another barrel. You see a very familiar metal barrel, actually, within this one. You are able to make out what looks like Duridan rune etchings on the top of it.
I'm going to call Shadel over because I'm going to assume I will not be able to understand or read them or decipher them or anything.
I'm going to assume this is one of the components for the defoliant. But I'll check over it to make sure.
Sure. So, from the look of it, you can see that these runes read. One of the runes being scratched out, but you see Aetherworks written on the top of it. But you would need to. You need to open this, or you need to get a better look at the full barrel to fully understand what it is.
Okay, let's open it. If we can.
I'm Sturdy Bark. Are you going to requisition help from anyone?
I'm not gonna do it, but the Loris can probably do it.
I'll try my best. I'll crack my fingers in, get down in a cracking position.
If it's if it's you, Sturdy Bark, or Bagoosh doing it, I don't even need to check. You're able to lift this barrel out pretty handily. It almost seems like it's half full. And yeah, upon bringing it out of its wooden casing or its wooden shell, you can see a very familiar looking barrel. Definitely one of the components to the defoliant. Looks very similar to the barrel that Councilwoman Ulana rolled out in the middle of the council meeting.
Well,
now this barrel doesn't have her emblem on it, right? It's the other
Nope.
ones that do?
Just
Okay.
just the wooden barrels.
Well, if we can, we should take this, but we should also take one of the other barrels as evidence, because this alone won't be enough. And
So
Charwin isn't
Krell
here.
was.
Anyway.
I wonder if Krell knew these were down here.
do you think Krell wanted us to get dirt on another council member, and this was a way for us to
Or
find
it's
it?
set up, maybe?
Well, also, how do we know that these barrels were not just recycled from Ulana's previous shipments? I mean, these Skaven are scavengers, are they not?
I would imagine she's got ledgers, and these barrels probably have some sort of tracking
I
system.
imagine
Sure.
Krell sent us down here, right? He had to have known about a lot of this. I don't think he would.
Frank, looking.
Sorry, player Krell is the Skaven, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Krell has to understand what's going on in the sewers more than any other council member.
I thought player he was trying to eliminate a rival, or like.
Yeah, but his
Right,
rival
but he
could
would
be
have to
working
have
with-
inner knowledge of what the
Well,
fuck.
first
yeah.
of all, eliminate a rival could mean many things.
Like,
Yeah.
Alana could be a rival.
Also, I mean, keep in mind that Charwin conspicuously disappeared in the middle of this, and
And
he is
doesn't
Alana's
he
agent.
work for Ulana?
He works for Alana, yeah.
Interesting. It's hard to tell.
So,
He's also an idiot, but it also is very suspicious.
he could also be acting.
He could have been acting.
Yeah,
Yes,
Krell had
but
destroyed Cauldron to make Pestilence mad. Like that was the reason we were supposed to be down here, and Pestilence being another Skaven clan.
Right.
Oh, Frank, I forget who said this point, but are there like any numbers or IDs or whatever on the barrels, or they're just plain wooden barrels with a stamp on them?
Oh, they've got like serial numbers and like marks on them that
Yeah,
denote them to be.
Let's jot down those serial numbers to see if we can then later steal some books and see if this was like, yep, this is the one with hands in it, or if it was like, no, this is just recycled.
Okay. From the Plague Priest, as you're while this is going on, or prior to this all happening, yeah, there's a number of various necklaces, adornments, symbols, all that good stuff that you can wrestle off this corpse. One thing in particular that you note is a very smooth looking talisman that he has, or that he has affixed to his hand or his arm. It's green, as is most rocks around here. A very large, smooth green rock.
Warpstone, I'm guessing.
Looks to be refined.
Well,
Refined warpstone.
I guess I grab it and I put it in the storage with the other one.
Do you think he was channeling magic through this or something?
I don't know. Could be a sign of status as well.
Well,
I'm still trying to understand what Krell knew and didn't know. Because he sent us here. He had to have known about at least some of this.
well,
yeah,
at least
Whether it be
there's no reason
Wano
to-
or like...
about the
He's
plague
not going to tell
cauldrons.
us, that's for sure.
He knew that Clan Pestilence had plague cauldrons that needed to be destroyed.
Yeah, do you think he knew about Ulana's stuff down here?
I mean,
My heart tells me yes, but I don't know.
assuming he did. I mean, Ulana's the one who got him onto the council, right?
She's one of the... No.
I
That
thought
was
it
a big. I was a
I thought it was
majority
her
vote, right? I think
idea
most
where
of
she
them.
said we have to
No,
do this or it's going
It
to
was
end poorly.
Thystra that did that. She's the
Thystra,
one that brought it
right.
up.
So I'm beginning to think Krell and Ulana don't like each other, but I don't know who's in the right.
Or, I mean, what do we know of Thystra's dealings with the other council members?
I mean, she's the head of the, or she's a high-ranking member, and I'm now forgetting the name of it, but,
Black Scale Coil.
Black Scale Coil, there we go. But outside of that, we don't really know much about her.
Because I'm beginning to think if we go to Ulana saying with accusatory stuff, she's just going to deny everything and be like, "Oh no, those barrels were just down." Like, what? No, of course not. So I don't think it's going to work if we just attack Ulana.
No, I mean, I think it sounded like we were gonna have to break in and steal some documents from whoever's doing the accounting.
Yeah. Do you think Charwin has to know stuff? He's gone. Sorry,
gone.
Joe. Did Joe find any trace of Charwin whatsoever? Player, when I think at the beginning he
no.
asked. Okay.
No, Charwin, you haven't seen since you first entered, or rather, since you lost track of them after you first entered.
Okay. Okay, well, when we get to the surface, what are we gonna do? Do we have to pay Krell a visit? Like, was that part of the deal, or was it just we're over with him? Or
I mean, that's we can
He'll
technically tell
probably
him
contact us.
we did the job. I think we're supposed to call him when we're done.
oh, right, with the voice box.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Do we have a way to call him? It was through the warp
We
stone. right?
could, but I'd rather not call him from down here,
No, yeah, no,
just in
no.
case he says, "Oh well, now I can get you out of the way," and
Yeah, I think we get to the
Leave it down here.
surface and tell Krell we did it,
right,
or like mission accomplished, and then
or even somewhere safe, and then call him. I think might be in order.
Sure.
Alright, so what are you taking with you?
I want you to take the barrel defoliant, and we took the warp stone necklace,
Taking anything else?
And serial numbers,
the serial numbers. yeah.
and as a bounty hunter in this world, what do you usually like bring if someone's dead? You bring like their head, their face,
Ears.
their
You could-
stuff.
You could bring like their head or their stuff, something that identifies
I'm gonna
as
bring.
like theirs.
I'm gonna bring one Skaven head.
You
Pack
want
it up.
over?
Pack it up real nice,
Jesus,
Also, you
help,
sure there are
Joe,
any
what are you
left?
doing? What the hell are you doing, Joe?
proving that we got a kill.
Did you?
Are you sure there are any left? Goofy's been eating.
Yeah, Bagoosh has
You at the
E.
very least have the plague priest.
Yeah, I'm taking the Plague Priest head. And some of his symbology, like some of the Clan Pestilence symbology.
All right, well, yeah, I guess let's get to the surface and give everybody a call when we're kind of in a safe place.
Is there anything else we should destroy here? So they
Oh,
can't
we're gonna destroy the
repeat
cauldron on
this.
the way up.
Yeah, we're gonna be way out of this room when that culture is destroyed, or as close to the.
Sure, I could set up some ordnance or something.
Let's do it.
Alright, give me 1 second. My mother just called me. She just got back from Spain today, so I need to make
No
her
problem.
call.
Yeah, of course.
So, how long do we think these Skaven have even been here? Like, 2 years, 10 years, hundreds of years?
100 is a long time. This isn't player Skaven lifespan. I'm assuming is very short. So, and back into character, I don't think it's been a really long time, but
At least as long as Krell's been here.
right. I mean, Krell said it was a rival clan or guild of his, so probably a while. But I doubt 100 years.
But, like, do Skaven just live under all cities then? Or do they have, like, tunnels to get from city to city? I mean, apparently you've been. I turned to Sturdybuck. You've been fighting them for a long time, or your people have?
Yes.
So, how do
Well,
they get.
They can't live
Everywhere.
under ours.
Yeah, do they have like a tunnel system underground? Do they go on foot above ground?
You would know this, Loris.
I would know this.
Yeah, the Nautilus gets attacked by Skaven.
By Skaven in the water?
They randomly, the way it works is they have basically like a city in another plane, and they're able to dig holes through planes.
Oh shit, so it's
So
like
the-
a Vermintide when you like teleport.
Yes,
So they'll
they,
just
they
pop
literally
out of the
tunnel
ether?
through reality.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so they'll like
And-
tunnel
and
out of
they-
reality.
Yeah, they do that to the Nautilus while it's underwater.
It's wild.
Alright, I'll try to explain that then. It's like, yeah, basically picture digging a tunnel through air, but it's in a different plane and it'll just pop out, boop, when you least expect it.
Also doesn't make any sense.
No,
Well, yeah, I don't think the physics here is going to make a lot of sense.
doesn't make a lot of sense. But,
I'm realizing there's a lot in this world that I didn't know a few months ago, and I think a lot makes sense. But happy to be here. Feels like we're doing
Yeah.
something.
I want to get out of this sewer system.
Yep, you almost done with those explosives?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just a delicate process. But please rush me. You know, it'll be fine
No,
if it blows up in our face.
No, take your time. I'm not in a rush.
I am. I'll just wait outside till he's done setting up then.
I will hang with you to make sure that you don't get ambushed. Bagoosh, you almost done eating there? How was the big one? As I'm walking by towards the exit.
Meaty.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Ollie, this picture of you and the robot is amazing.
I love little robot suit.
Wait, if you're a big creature, like the big cat people, like the huge cat people, do you get a bigger robot?
Mm-hmm. Most of the mounts in 14 scale.
Amazing.
The only ones that don't are mounts that let you have multiple people on them. Those are a fixed size, which
Get weird.
they come with their own quirks. Where's a good example? So one of the crossovers they did was for Final Fantasy 15, which is the one that's the road trip one. If you've ever seen that,
It's like the
God.
modern-ish
Heard about it,
table
yeah.
with the car.
It's
Yeah, I heard it's quite
So-
sussy.
it's such
so yeah, so the car was a mount you could get as part of the.
the car is the best part of the game, to be
I
honest.
think it's
with
called
you.
the Regalia.
Yes, it is the regalia. I had
This is
forgotten.
what
but-
this is what potatoes look like when they drive it.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Amazing.
Oh my god,
No pedals.
that is
No.
cute as hell.
It's also funny when you're in like the other seats because you have to like stand on them.
That's
All
funny.
right.
Alright.
Sorry about that. So,
We're Jay chilling outside. Shadell is fixing a mortar or some sort of thing to blow up the canister while we're out of the room.
Call. Yeah.
sure. So it's like a delayed fuse, or are you gonna like pop a button?
Yeah, I'm gonna come walking down and say, yeah, we got about 5 minutes.
Book it.
Sure. So you have with you a barrel. You have with you notes of like serial numbers on these barrels, and you have with you the pendant as well as a plague priest head.
Correct.
And the warpstone,
That was
Yeah,
the
pen.
pendant.
the warpstone pendant, or the neck bracelet,
Top-
whatever it is.
Nexus, whatever.
Okay, cool. So, you come out. You leave the way you came in. And after some time of walking down this dark, dreary pipe, you hear a very loud explosion with a bright flash of light coming from behind you, with the delayed fuse going off.
Well done.
Sounds like the job was done.
And just as quickly as you heard this explosion and there was this loud noise, you're back in silence. Nothing really drawing your attention outside of the periodic dripping of water or just the general sloshing dampness as you wade your way through the pipes.
Okay.
So
Still just heading out.
you progress through. And as you walk, you notice something a bit odd. You come to that same spot in the pipe where there was that pool of liquid that Bagoosh tasted and put his hand in, and it kind of like tingled him a little
pants.
bit. And it ate away at his beautiful pants.
Cost so much water.
And something's very clearly off here. The pool's still there, but it seems like there's... Well, it seems like the boxes that you walked on in order to get past it, they've since been moved. They're still there, but they're very much not in the same spot they were in. Or the same
Do I
spots
see
they
any
were in.
magical auras? Distinct magical auras that look like it's not the way it was when I walked
You
in.
do not. You don't
Okay.
see anything
Do we
too distinct.
see any footprints in any like mud or sand or anything?
Give me a... give me a awareness 4-2, or if you have survival, like tracking purposes, you can give me a survival 3-3.
I got success.
4-2 or 3-3?
Yep.
I think I'd rather go with the 4-2.
Okay. The two of you are able to take note of, for starters, the Skaven corpse that was here is no longer here. That's easy for everyone to see. Your once guide, anyway, his corpse is no longer here.
Did I not eat him?
Yeah, I thought
I thought you ate him. Or did you eat him? Oh.
I thought I ate him.
Yeah.
Is his
Well-
stuff missing? Like anything he left on the
Yeah,
ground?
there's
I
no,
would have
there
eaten
is
his
literally
stuff as well.
no
his
sign.
like sword.
I
There's,
would
like-
have eaten his sword as
God.
well.
There's literally no sign of him. Secondly, you notice what look like pretty, not like boots per se, but like normal shoes, somewhat like thin soles, imprinted in the sludge to the side here, right before the liquid.
These Charwin's boots?
It seems like that they were the path that these prints are showing. Seems like this person was walking towards where you were going, and then took a step around, and then went back over the pool. But
And
it
now the
is
boxes are
very
gone.
clear that the box or barrel that they stepped on that they had to step on from this spot is no longer there, as it almost seems like they just walked through or up over the pool.
And there's nothing in like
Can
hanging down from the ceiling that you could walk on or anything like that.
You don't see anything like that.
we guesstimate their height from their boot?
Yeah. So, I guess looking at this, you can... Yeah. Looking at this, I think you're able to determine they're I guess, like, probably about as tall, if not slightly taller than you, Joe. They have pretty, not like small feet, but on the like more on the smaller end, right? So like I wouldn't want to assume Joe's shoe size, but
Yeah, I'm 6'1".
yeah, like this person's probably like 5'10", probably. Slightly shorter than you. Definitely slightly smaller shoe size than you.
Does that describe Charwind?
What you know of Charwind is he wore big boots. Didn't really wear like sleek shoes of any kind.
I don't remember how tall Theister was. And I don't remember how tall
The
Alana
only
was either.
person who would have even remotely gotten a close look at how tall Theister was, and I don't actually recall if you turned the corner to look at her, is Joe, who heard her laughing at Councilwoman Kassan, but I don't know if you actually I don't recall, rather, if you
Yeah,
actually turned the corner to see what she looks
we
like.
all would have seen her
up
stand up in the council chambers, but
Yeah,
like
but
that's
she's
an
on, like, a
angle.
platform.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
perspective is off there.
So unless you're smart enough to be like, oh, I know how tall this person is, and this is where the floor is, and yeah, it's a lot of.
Well, I guess I'm
math.
preparing to be ferried across again.
I'm gonna look to see if anyone's like waiting in ambush along the sides and whisper to everyone else to do the same. Because I'm kind of nervous that this has been set up so that we can't get
Give
out.
me anyone who is going to be like keeping an eye out here. You can give me an awareness 5-2. This is
Succeed.
I guess this is technically a hearing and seeing for those
Okay.
purposes. So
I'll spend a focus to succeed.
I do not succeed. I rolled
I
a
do
lot of
not.
ones.
I cannot.
True.
I'm assuming Bagoosh cannot as well. Then.
Don't think it's possible.
Okay. So you're able to cross pretty easily. Like, as I said, the boxes and crates, and barrels were slightly moved from when you last walked this way. Pretty easily navigatable. For you, Joe. You as you are getting to the end of this pool, and what you know to be the other side, you are able to kind of make out some talking, like almost. It's very distant. Further on down the pipe, you can almost make out people talking, but you cannot make out what they are saying.
Are they Skaven voices, human voices, elven
Um,
voices?
It doesn't sound like the erratic and manic sounds of Skaven. This sounds significantly more like composed.
I'm gonna tell that to whoever's in front and behind me and have that pass it on. And tell everyone to sneak.
Sneaking engaged.
Okay. As you walk as stealthily as your group can, Joe, the voice seems to come more. You seem to be able to understand and hear more of the voice. It becomes clearer. Everyone else, you also start to hear this mumbling. And it soon becomes very clear that you are hearing Charwind. This is Charwind's voice that you're hearing. But you don't quite see him yet.
Does it sound like he's having a conversation, or he's talking like back and forth, back and sorry? Does it sound like he's talking to himself, or is it like a back and forth? Back and
Sounds
forth?
like he's mumbling to himself. It sounds like you're hearing the like manic ramblings of someone just speaking to themselves.
Normal Charwind or something snapped? Slash he's been hiding something.
This sounds like normal Charwind to you. This
Why?
sounds like
Why is Charwood? Oh my god!
this
And
sounds
I'm
like
gonna stop
Charwind
speaking.
just ranting to himself.
What are the contents of the rant? Like, is it not threatening at all, or is he saying anything that might...
As you get closer, you're able to really hear what he's going on about, and you hear him saying the following. I have to make sure none of them are able to tell anyone that I got lost down here, and that I fought 12 Skaven off. I covered their advance while they were moving on. That's it. That's it. Yes. Excellent. And he just keeps going on, and you hear this 12 Skaven turn to 14, and then you hear him say, no, 14's too many. I 9's more reasonable.
I'm gonna.
You hear him just kind of going back and forth with himself.
I'm gonna sort of like jog up, kind of make a little bit of noise, and then just say, Jarwind, are we all clear? Did you keep us safe from behind?
It's very clear that you startled him. That he jumps a bit, and he upon like you see him kind of put his hand to his eyes to try and peer through and see your group, and he, upon noticing you, he assumes his normal composure, his normal confident composure, and he looks at you and says, "Yes, I managed to deal with many a rat folk down here, though they were no match for me and my blade."
Good. Glad to hear it. We handled a few too many and have what we need, so we're heading out.
What color
Excellent.
was their blood?
What?
What color's their blood?
Do not ask me such trivial questions. I disposed of their bodies.
I mean, I don't think you'd forget when you've seen it.
All blood looks the same to someone like me. When you've slain and cut down so many a foe, it all looks the same.
How would you rate the taste?
I never tasted them, but my blade, as he unsheaths it, my
Whoa,
blade
whoa,
tasted
whoa!
many. And he just sheaths it again.
Thank you. Yeah, you can't just be unsheathing that thing around people.
Yes, it is a weapon of much renown.
All right, Charwind. While we were over there, and you were over here, did you see anything weird or strange, or were you just wandering aimlessly the whole time?
I saw 9 Skaven attempt to flank you.
Oh, okay. Did you see anything weird or?
He looks at you like, is 9 Skaven not weird? Should it have been 14 instead?
Okay.
And he cuts himself off. I mean, no, just the 9.
Just the 9. Okay.
Besides that, there was obvious murmuring coming from the end of the pipe, but I figure that's because the dock workers are getting ready to start their early morning shifts.
I'm gonna push past them and then try to sneak ahead and listen to see if he is in fact right or if it is Skaven.
You kind of shove him aside, and he looks kind of like taken aback by what he perceives as rudeness as he's ranting. Yeah, no, as you get closer to the end of the pipe, or the entrance to the pipe, no, you see just various dock workers and various shadows, rather, moving about at the entrance. They look human-sized, like people-sized, not rat people-sized.
And human-y talking?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll
you make
run
out,
back,
you make
give
out
her
like
thumbs up.
real talking. Say again?
I'll head back, give her the thumbs up, and motion her to come on through.
Oh, thank goodness.
Charwin looks at you, Lars, and is like, so, how many did you take on?
When they were in that room?
They
Just
were
give me
like
any number.
You could say
50?
over 20.
There were over 20, but it was a group effort. Not as masterful as you, and I'll give him a little bow with your 9, 12, 15 by yourself?
It was 10.
Not as masterful as your 10.
Yes, though I might say it could have been closer to 12. It depends how you want to count the little rats that they carry with them. Are those Skaven as well?
No.
Did you encounter any of those 6-legged rats that they had?
No.
They were mighty messy, those rats.
Yeah, I haven't quite heard of those ever. That's interesting. Wow, you must have... Okay.
Yes, I believe they called them hexarats. It was something I shudder to share with anyone. It was something that will scar me for life. This continues on.
Yeah.
It's that moment that Joe realizes why, even though it seemed like Charwind was competing for every contract, never actually beat her out on any contract ever.
Yeah.
You're realizing Charwind's incompetent.
Well, I think she realized that, but hadn't put together that, like, wait, he's actually beyond incompetent. Like, thought that he was, like, a fellow competitor, but, like, no, he just talks a huge game. And I hadn't had a long enough conversation to realize it was all bullshit.
Have you ever seen a six-legged rat?
No?
It's because they don't exist.
So I figured.
I assumed that, so I was like,
I was like, you mean like a
Yeah,
rat king, or?
They don't exist.
I mean, I guess if they were exposed to enough of some concoction, maybe, but...
So you
Alright,
get
we're
to
gonna kit bash and make a
the end of
six-legged
the
rat.
pipe, and you're greeted with this obviously familiar landscape, the harbor, the relatively, I guess, relative hustle and bustle of the workers moving about crates and supplies and the like. And you kind of notice two of them just kind of eyeing up your group as you're coming out of the pipes. And one of them looks at you and is like, "Oi, what are you doing down there?"
Dealing with fucking dangerous folk. What are you doing out here?
And looks at me like, "We're working. Early shift starts, yeah?"
Yeah, so are we. Glad to hear you're, alright. Enjoy your day.
As you sort of walk away, he says, "Well, hold on now. Wait, whoa. What you got there?" As he
I'm gonna pull out
motions.
the bloody rag I have that's got a head inside and just sort of jostle it to let some blood flow out, but not show what's in there. And be like, you don't want to know.
He was like, "All right, but you're not supposed to be carrying stuff around like that here in the harbor." As he motions towards the barrel, like that's a union job there.
Yeah, we're heading
Uh,
straight to the council with this. Don't you worry.
I'm gonna just brusquely ask them, are you guys with Alana's company?
Alana shipping?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, who keeps the books for her?
Oh well, she's got a personal accountant. Handles all that, manifests and such.
So any barrels shipped out of this harbor with her insignia on are going to be recorded by that guy or girl.
Oh yeah, I mean they take care of everything. She's leans in. She's kind of a hard ass with regards to losing product.
So if we wanted to confirm a shipment, where would I go to find this person?
Oh, you'll want to head to the head offices then.
All right. Is that the same place we need to take this barrel?
No. When he says the head offices, he very clearly points towards a very large building, which looks like a warehouse, and then he says, "Yeah, management just tends to hang out over there. They have their manifests and paperwork and all those things that you sophisticated types have to do. We primarily lift and move stuff down here, unload, offload."
I mean, my mind,
Reload.
you're doing the real work, but we'll go deal with them.
I mean, Putty's name looks. He's like, "Yeah, I mean, some might say the city would fall apart without us." Yeah, and
I
kind
should
of
think
like
so.
motions around and sees anyone else amongst his workers, and they're all still going about their business, not really cheering him on. Says, "Yeah, best place to find him would be over there." Why? What kind of shipment are you trying to confirm?
Well, we've got an order that's a little late and we're kind of worried about it.
Oh well, I mean, I might be able to help you there then. We don't do late here. If we do late here, but it doesn't go well for us. So pray tell, I might be able to help.
I mean, it might be stolen, so I don't want to get you involved in something that you get in trouble with. I mean, so unless you want your name in the reports and whatnot.
I mean, if it's going to lead to one of them cushy jobs in that building, then maybe.
Well,
It might lead to you being fired or investigated.
I mean,
Upon hearing that, he looks at you like, look, I got a couple mouths to feed at home. I don't want any of this.
Yeah, I don't
want
think we
any
ever saw you. I don't think you saw us.
Right. Who are you?
Huh?
have a nice day.
just some people you randomly saw.
Hey, you gonna put that back? As he motions towards the pipe and the downed grate.
Studybach, do you mind?
Okay. And I will fix our egress. Should I take care of him too?
Pointing at the guy we've been talking to.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think
He's-
Wiz is
he's
a...
alright.
Fine. He's harmless.
I don't think he's gonna forget a tree.
But he was helpful, so I'm not really worried.
Seeing you pick that up, I don't think he's gonna say anything, even if he doesn't forget.
Looks at you as you lift that grate, and he's like, "You ever looking for work lifting heavy objects? We could use a man like you down here."
Who are you talking to?
He points up at you.
You never saw me.
He thinks for a second. He's like, "Yeah, I gotta go." Just kind of walks off, and every couple steps he like looks back at your group and keeps walking off.
Well, let's go head to that office. Actually, what time of day is it?
Early morning.
Ah. Do we want to check in with Krell first, or do we want to just?
I don't mind at least checking in here while we're here. I mean, for all
I don't
Krell
think we
knows,
want
it'll
to
take
whip out
hours.
some warpstone in the middle of a busy wharf.
I don't think we want to whip out the warpstone. We should just whip out the barrels saying, "Hey, we think these were stolen. We need to know what's going on. We're working directly for the council."
Oh, you mean going to the business office?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You
And
think that's a
Just try
an
to
approach
convince
that
them
we
that
should take?
that we are working for the council. We're working on Ulana's behalf. We need to know exactly what's going on with these shipments. It's actually mostly true. Best lies are
Okay.
mostly true.
Okay. So we're gonna go and basically say we're working for the council and we've got some shipment numbers we'd like to find some information about.
I like that plan.
Okay. I mean, if they're in on it and they know those shipment numbers are connected to the Skaven,
Then Bagoosh or Sturybach is going to have a very stern conversation with them.
yeah, they'll get eaten, I guess. That's sounds like a plan.
Kind of like how you just at this point are just wanting to kill people.
I mean,
I have that effect on that.
I mean, killing guilty people is like whatever.
You gotta
they're not
remember,
even
like,
really humans anymore, you know.
Joe's a bounty hunter at the start of the day, but also has seen some shit with these random fuckers in these last few weeks. Is now like this whole Skaven are real. Fucking alligator people, crocodile people are fighting
Josephus, there's giant
trees.
trapped in an old sewers.
Yeah, they're just. She's losing her fucking mind at this point.
Yeah, I guess in reality, your world
As we
was
say,
very
done with it.
confined to Anvilgard, so you're seeing a bunch of stuff that's
I'm the normal one.
yeah.
I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible so I can go back home.
Just go home, do your job.
Okay. So you start heading towards the building. After a couple seconds of walking in this general direction, Charwin kind of just stops moving, and he looks at the rest of you. He's like, "Why are we headed over there?"
Well, you're going to be keeping guard outside for us. We have to check in on things for Ulana.
Yeah, but wait.
Were you not paying attention? We need Ulana asked us to get all this sorted.
feel like I'd remember that.
All right. Well, what do you
Do you
remember?
not see the barrel of defoliant that we've been carrying around?
The 21st night, September.
No, I feel like. Never mind.
I feel bad gaslighting him.
Yeah, Alana. Yeah, you need to work something out in the
Almost got a thought there. You could do it.
you need to work something out in there with who? One of the managers?
Right. I was wondering, do you get paid by the managers here, or who usually covers your expenses?
Yeah, they have like a little like office for me in there.
Oh, perfect. Then
Have
You can help
records in your
explain.
office?
I don't keep records like that.
Okay.
Should I just
Can you write?
I keep I keep he looks kind of like embarrassed. I keep various swords and trophies in my office. I don't really have need for paperwork or records of any kind. And then he
How do you-
thinks for a second, and then he says, the records of my deeds. That's what the trophies are. They're records of my deeds. So yes, I keep records, as he puffs out his chest.
Alright, Jarwin.
Says, do you know who you're talking to? Do you need to talk to there? Or
Well, they told us that there are office workers there that hold or that take care of the ledgers. At least the dock worker said such. He didn't give us a name, but I imagine we can inquire.
okay. Yeah, I'll get us in. I've got the key. He kind of like holds up like a key ring, and he just has a key. It's key to my office, and I can go in there. It's like, I can help
Why do you sound so nervous? We're just at what is happening?
Do they not have a public entrance?
It's kind of a private business. They
I
don't
mean-
really let people on the grounds.
It's a
That's why I'm kind of
shipping office.
yeah,
they're
but
bound
there's a
to
lot of
have-
private things that come in and out. They don't really have a forward facing. If you want to complain, you're supposed to like mail in requests and
Right! I'm supposed to write a letter to complain. Okay.
it's not really my job. You'll have to take that up with them.
Right.
He seems very nervous.
Yeah.
From here on out, Joe is going to be 2 steps behind Charwin at all times, watching him to see if he tries to bail or leave or signal to someone.
Who wants to
Okay.
tie up Jarwin and take his keys?
We just tell him. We just have him go do the thing. He's not going to say no.
Yeah.
he kind of walks up in front and looks back and says, I'll lead from here. And he walks with what definitely seems like less purpose than he had before. And he almost like shrinks a bit as he gets to the door. And then he says, okay, hold on. Pulls out the key and he puts it in and turns. Seems like everything unlocks properly. And he opens the door, and he holds it open for all of you and says, after all of you.
I will wait behind Charwind and
I'll take a step in.
and let him go before me.
Okay. So, Loris, you move in. I assume the rest of you move in except for Joe. And Charwin looks at you and says, as I said, after you.
Oh no, I insist, and I'll like do like almost like an awkward like hand on shoulder like guiding him in as I go to like close the door behind us.
He doesn't put up much of a fight, as he just kind of is taken by surprise that you your forwardness. This warehouse is pretty dark. In fact, like the only light that you can really see is a couple like candlelight coming from offices that look like they're on like the second floor. Like so, you're in an open room. You got like boxes and you've got like crates and such in front of you. And overlooking this warehouse, you see just a bunch of like windows with like candles and look like lights coming from, or that's radiating out from behind those windows. And then the door behind you, which is still open, letting in a little bit of light. When you're all in, Charlin points up and he says, "Those are the offices up there." Yeah. That's I don't tend to go up there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna head to my office real fast. Just gonna put some things down, and I'll meet you back out here. And he starts to walk towards this door directly to your right. He motions for his keys and then fumbles with them a bit, and then just lets out a sigh, puts them in his pocket, and then just opens the door and walks in.
I'm gonna scamper up Sturdy Bark and ask Tewa wherever he is to track him. Quietly whisper that to Tewa.
You hear Taewon say, "Okay," and you see Sturdy Bark's branches ruffle a little bit, and then just that's it.
So, do we want to head upstairs? Try to keep this going? I assume we don't want to be here for too long.
Do you think we're gonna need some sort of threat to get information out of these people?
I mean, I'd rather start with just conversation, and then
You know,
go from
I
there.
could rig a bomb in here somewhere and tell them if they didn't tell us.
I don't know how I feel about terrorism.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Alright. We'll just...
Why don't we
just
start? We'll
play
see
by
how
ear.
it goes. If they're playing absolutely hard to get into the next dimension, you know,
Can...
we'll see. But if they're, you know, if they're not cooperative to a point where that's required, then sure.
It might also be early enough that no one's actually here. Frank, can Sturdy Bark just lift me up to the second story? And I just like hop up there?
It's
like a balcony?
good. It's how tall, Sturdy Bark?
I am 12 feet tall.
Oh shit, yeah, that'll work.
And I'm 6'1" with a grappling hook, so I feel like
yeah,
we should have
shit,
this.
that'll work.
And it's
So-
not even my arm, it's just my height is 12 feet.
Yeah, let's say like
Sorry,
you're-
excuse me, I'm 14 feet.
Amazing.
Oh shit, yeah, that'll work.
Sturdy Bark,
Yeah,
can
he's
you
big-
just place
big
me up
boy.
there if you don't mind?
Yes.
Thank you. And I'm gonna knock on some doors.
Joe.
Mhm.
Okay, so I don't know if I did a good enough job explaining this. You are being lifted up. If you are being lifted up from where you currently are, there's no balcony, banisters, etc. in the windows that you can currently see. It's just this is a wall, and there are windows there that are looking out.
Oh, I understand. So there's like a hallway elsewhere. So this is where
Correct.
they can look into the warehouse from their
Correct.
offices. I gotcha. Even better.
But-
I'm just gonna look into these windows and see what we
Yeah.
see.
But as you are lifted up into this window, you are able to see a bunch of corpses.
Oh fuck, is what both me and Joe would say. I'm gonna take another peek for a few more seconds to see what kinds of corpses.
They look like a smattering of human corpses, elven corpses, Duridan corpses.
Hey, there's a bunch of dead humans, Durden, elves in here. This got real messy
You know,
real fast.
We did see
Oh,
a barrel
buffet.
filled with dead body parts, or with body parts, so
Yeah. What are they?
It's starting to look pretty grim.
What are they wearing? Are they wearing like the same uniforms as the people outside? Are they wearing armor? Are
You
they wearing?
see various outfits. You see what look like some guards. You see what look like regular dock workers that were outside. Some pirates, even. Sailors. This. It does not seem like whoever murdered these people did not discriminate.
You see anybody with a Keratin rig?
Do I?
Give me an awareness 5-2.
I bumped my 4 to a 5, making it 2.
You can see amongst these bodies what looks like a chrome looking, like a dirtied iron suit that
Oh.
looks a little too small to be something that even a like average sized or human would wear.
I will turn and look Shadel in his eyes or goggles and nod solemnly.
Well, this is the fucking place. Let's turn this place upside down.
Yeah, who wants to go check on Chawin? I'm starting to get worried.
We got
Yeah, I'm trying to
Teo on
understand because there's no way he's that murderer. But
Are you sure? He's a little bit unhinged.
I'm pretty sure he just knows exactly what's going on here. To be honest
That's
with you,
also very likely. Well, who wants to check on him? Someone should.
I'll go. I'll go. Hey, Jarwin, buddy. He's behind the door at this point, right, Frank? He went
Yep.
to another room. I'm gonna try and open the door and be like, Jarwin, buddy, hello.
It is very easy for you to open this door. You open this door and you see Charwin just kind of sitting on the floor, his head in his knees, and you can see that his office is very much a broom closet.
Jarwin, come here, buddy. No. Get out of your office. Get up.
He's
Up,
like,
up.
That's my ruse. It's not my office. This is a broom closet.
No, it's a very nice office. Come out. Come.
He kind of stands up, walks over.
I'm gonna go plant them in front of Joe. Like, Joe.
Chawin, what? The last few times you've been here, what's been going on that's strange or unusual? And whose office is that? Pointing to the window up there.
He looks up and he's like, that's upper management.
That's a person. That's a group of people.
He's like, that's just the manager, a person. They were pretty thorough about how they went about things around here.
And what was their name?
Ephraim.
All right.
When's the last time they've been here?
He looks down and then realizes that looking down he sees you, so then he kind of like looks off to the side. He says, look, we should leave.
No, you should answer our questions, or I'm gonna have Bagoosh eat you.
He looks at Bagoosh, and he says that we're in very far over our heads here.
Yeah, I'll hold my hand up. Like, why do we need to leave, Charwin? Are we in immediate danger in this room right now?
He shakes his head. No,
Okay.
but
So then, why do we
we
need to
will
leave?
be soon. We don't leave.
Who's going to come back soon? Is it the management? Are you worried about the management upstairs?
Yes. I think he says, I'm in over my head. I thought I was doing good things, but I'm not. I was misled, misinformed, and paid by bad people. And he looks at all of you and says, and I cannot get out of it, because if I go to the Castellan, I will be killed for being tainted.
Is it safe to say that you might believe that the higher-ups pointing to the room with all the corpses might be cultists?
He nods. He's like, yes. Yes, I know they
Okay.
are.
Okay.
So when he says tainted player, does that mean like corrupted by culty thingies?
Oh, no, you have to, like, give yourself over to chaos, right?
Uh-huh.
But, like, the Stormcast don't care.
Right, it's just associated with cultist shit.
Yeah,
Right,
you've
right,
been
okay.
associated
Okay.
with it. You're like, they don't care. They'll kill you.
Okay. Well, this is good, Charwan. You believe okay. I'll look to the group and be like, what do we do now? He believes that the management might be cultists, and I'm beginning to believe him.
Does
I'm
anyone
stressed.
else know we're here?
And those random dock workers.
I'm
they're-
not worried about the dock
Yeah.
workers.
He nods that the dock workers.
They,
Are they going to?
I think they're afraid of losing their livelihood. I
Wait,
don't think.
wait.
Are they in on it? You think?
Do you think the dock workers are also members of this cult?
He looks at you and says, there's a yes.
Well, fuck.
Shit.
He
Should've
he
killed him.
basically he looks at you and says, Anvilgard isn't a great place to just make a living. You're either doing something illegal, or he looks at Joe, or you're trying to capture people who do something illegal. And if you're not either of those two things, then you're probably in someone's pocket.
So,
Okay.
what do we
So-
say about getting the fuck out of here and heading to Stormcast Eternals as fast as we can?
Yeah, we need to go see the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
It's like, alright.
Charwan, you're coming with, buddy. You were a great help.
We should be able to
He-
prevent them from killing you.
He
Yeah.
nods, but he says, I think I should stay.
I think you're gonna end up upstairs.
Yeah,
if you stay.
I'd rather you be sort of a witness that we can try to escort out than you just fucking dying.
Yeah, you've been
Kiddo.
you've been good help, buddy. You don't need to.
Had they marked you with something?
No,
Yeah, then come with, man.
because he looks at you. He's like, no, because they don't think I can do anything to hurt them. And also, he kind of like reaches in his pocket and pulls out this familiar looking brooch. It's very similar to that Nurgle brooch that you had, that you
Mhm.
have, and it looks a little like less embellished. He's like, because I told them I would help them to not end up in the room.
Okay, well, it sounds like the safest place for you to be if you don't want to end up in that room is with us. So, come with, buddy.
He nods.
All right, we need
do
to
you
leave like
think
yesterday.
You
Let's-
would be able to not have me die?
Yes, I
to
think
save
so.
my
Like,
life?
yes, I agree with everything you're saying. We need to leave.
Yeah, if you stay, they're definitely gonna kill you.
Let's he wears like a ridiculous cloak, right?
Oh yeah, you can see this guy a mile away.
Okay, why don't we is it the same inside and outside? Is it black on both sides?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say, why don't you ditch the cloak, keep the gas mask on, let's just try to hide who you are when we're heading out of here.
He looks at you and says, well, which one of you is going to carry my cloak?
I'll carry your
I'll
cloak.
Okay, Loris has got it.
Is there, look, real quick, is there anywhere where there would be books, ledgers, something worth quickly me breaking a door in and stealing it, or just get the hell out?
He nods at you and he points up to the room.
Well, we're not going up there right now, Joe.
I mean, we could just break the window and have Taiwan grab something real quick. 30 seconds?
I mean, then they'll know we people were in here. And
Alright, let's go.
I'm not risking Tewa.
yeah, also, like, they come back, there's a broken door into their corpse-riddled room. They're gonna go be on high alert.
Alright, we outie.
Okay. As you leave through the door you came in on, you see all the dock workers still working, you know, going about their business, and you see that dock worker that approached you or as you were leaving the sewers. He says, find everything you need to in there.
Yep, we're just locking up, and I'll have Charwin make a show of locking the door.
The guy just kind of stands there watching. He's like, "All right, well, if you need anything, let me know, and I might be able to. Should I let anyone know that you came by? Is there something that you sure you got everything you needed in there?
Yeah, no, we're good.
You're
What
still carrying
was
the
your
crates?
name if we need to call upon you later?
Oh, my name's Okaran.
O'Connor. Nice to meet you. I'm Joe.
He nods and he's like, "Joe, strong name, very good."
Thanks.
He looks as you're still carrying the barrels. Says, "Didn't you need to leave those in there? I was under the impression you were dropping them off."
That's what we thought too, but we were mistaken. But now we're headed the right way. Don't you worry.
All right. Well, have a good one then.
You as well.
Yep.
Don't work too hard.
Hey, Bagoosh. Grab that guy.
Are you going to grab Okaran?
I think we should, and just bring him with.
It might get a little crazy, but
I mean,
He had a buddy too, though, who saw us, right?
is he alone at this point?
He's alone at this point.
I don't know. This seems like a gift.
maybe. If someone hears him wailing and screaming, though, they might.
Yeah, but at the same time, he could be the witness that saw us go in the building, and now he's going to go tell the other cultists.
Yeah, though it sounds maybe his buddy already did that. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not going to make us do it. I just think it's.
What do you guys want to do?
Just wait
mean-
to hear what Bagoosh says.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the no camp, but if everyone else is yes, like I'm not gonna.
Ollie, what's the play?
He might have
Rip
stepped
Ollie.
away.
Rip
Frank, what's the
Ollie.
play?
Big riff.
Frank,
Um,
you're the Ollie standing, bro.
I'm not.
I know.
I can't
I
make
know,
that
I know you
decision.
can't.
Somebody
What
want
would you be?
somebody
What
wanna
would
roll the
everyone else
dice
be
room?
leaning towards? Let's.
Yeah, we'll just do it to majority then.
Yeah,
I'm in a no,
it's-
Shade's in a yes, but we're both not hard either way. And then
Joe is no. Alex is yes.
what does that mean?
Joe doesn't want to. Joe wants to leave this guy alone, and go about their day. But Alex thinks the drama of this dude getting grabbed and potentially eaten is great. So if questioned in character, the answer is please don't do this. If
Sturdy
questioned
bark?
out of character, the answer is let's fucking go, boys.
I mean,
I'm gonna turn to Sturdy Bark and say, look, this company is clearly responsible with shipping this defoliant to a nefarious race of creatures that is making poison. This thing is made to kill trees, and these guys are agents working for that purpose. I don't want to leave anything up to chance.
yeah, I'm off. I don't mind grabbing humans. They're
Well,
kind of
this
squishy.
is more than grabbing. This is
Kidnapping.
This is eating and killing. This is not.
Oh, eating. I don't
We're not
eat
eating
humans.
him. We're taking him with us.
I can politely ask him to come with us.
Yeah, why don't you do that? And
We
then
could
if he,
try that first.
yeah,
Sure.
we'll see what his response is.
Hello, Okro, is that your name?
Oh, Karen? That's me.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. I'm Sincerity Bark, and I think you should come with us.
And he looks at you very puzzled. He's like, I'm still on shift.
What happened to your friend?
Oh, he's out working over there. He points in the general direction. You see like just a bunch of faceless like people working out there, like, lifting
Well,
shit.
we. How should we?
In fact, I gotta get back out there. I'm part of that shift.
Are you the
We've
one
actually
who?
been instructed to deliver this barrel to a location, but they think it would be a good idea for another person from the company to go along with us as a witness to make sure that we do it.
Yep, that's what.
Someone in your group roll guile.
I'll nod and do it.
Someone in your group give me a 4-2 guile.
Does my silver tongue change it to something else?
We'll make it a 3-2.
Hell yeah. 3-2. Let's go. I did it.
You did. You want to try and you want to word it differently, or you just want to go with what Shadel was saying?
Yeah, I'll just give a big smile and say, well, it's a good thing you're offering to help. Let's go.
Actually, just the man we were looking for.
He looks at you. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm." Like I said, he looks at all of you. And he says, "Yeah, what did I say before about the union? That's why they keep us on. Yeah, don't worry about this. I'll hold on." He goes to grab it. And he says, "I gotta lift it for you. If I'm coming along, I gotta make sure getting that union pay." And he goes to grab it from you and lift.
Okay. I guess
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he says, "All right, where are we taking this bad boy? Like
We're gonna
down the street? Well, over to one of the warehouses. Where are we headed?"
just follow Jo. She knows where she's going.
Follow me. It's gonna be quite a trip. If you need help, we have strong hands.
He says, "Quite a trip. What does that mean?"
Follow me, and I will jog off into one of my secret passageways.
Okay. After about like 10 minutes of leading this guy, he just stops. He's like, "All right, what's going on here? Because this is way past what I'm supposed to be doing union-wise here."
Are we in an alley?
Probably from
Yeah,
the alley cat.
at this
So
point in time.
he's alone, surrounded by us.
Yeah, this guy is alone. He is just now, after 10 minutes, being like, "Hey, this is
Hey,
clearly
what the
not
fuck?"
right."
I think
Guys.
at this point we can just kind of throw down the "we're working for the council," including Councilwoman Alana, and we need to go discuss matters of import.
Right, and we'll see his reaction, right? Because he'll either start freaking out or be like, sure, or like what? Like he might not know anything. So we'll see his reaction. To all of what Shade said.
Okay. You explain what's going on in Vegades, and you tell him that you're working with the council, and includes Councilman Ulana, all that. Upon hearing Ulana, he like perks up, and he's like, "Oh, you're working with the boss." Yeah. Look, she said she's gonna help a lot of us try and get better pay around here and try and lobby for more. Well, lobby for the Stormcast provide us with better conditions and all that. It's, hopefully have more security down by the docks. We get a lot of pirates and such, so a lot of us have to. He kind of like cracks his knuckles, but a lot of us have to get in a good old dust every now and again.
Yeah,
So
don't even get us started on pirates. Fuck those guys.
Oh yeah, yep. He's like, look, we gotta deal with a lot of them bad sort too. So look, if you're working with a good boss, then yeah, we can. We gotta take this what to Chambers.
Is that where we were
Okay.
headed?
Okay.
I think we had decided we decided we were going to the Stormcast.
Yeah, we're going
place,
to the
but-
tower. The question is, do we tell him that she's working with the Stormcast Eternals?
I don't.
So, she,
Holy
as you
balls.
may know, doesn't always like to share her whole game plan with everyone, and so we're missing a little bit of the information that she has. Apparently, we're taking this right now. The place we are going now is to and I'll name the place the Stormcast are. I forget the name of their seat of
The Stormfort.
the
The
Stormfort.
Stormhold.
So the Stormhold. I'm not one to question her. She seems to have a pretty good handle on everything. But that's where we're heading now. So sorry for the long walk.
I'm going to, while this is going on, can I sidebar with Charwin on the side and be like, Charwin, like, look at me, like, not near them, and be like, how sure are you that he's a cultist and in on everything?
He looks at me. He's like, I mean, most of them are supposed to be in on it. This guy doesn't seem like he is. Sound like
So when you said they were cultists, you were just assuming, and you have no clue if this guy even knows what the fuck is going on?
look, I've seen them pull people into that warehouse, and then those people they pulled in didn't come out again. I can't say this guy was one of the guys who did that.
Okay. Well, you said that, but okay, we're gonna, now it's our problem. Okay. And sidebar over.
Yeah. So the guy's like, the Stormfort? Okay. Not the council chambers?
Nope.
Sure, if that's what she wants, then yeah, we could take it there.
Alright, come on. We've dallied long enough. Daylight's burning.
It's like another 5 minutes. He's like, "Can I get a hand with this? I'm just getting kind of. I'm way past where I should be doing this by myself. You know, I gotta hand this off at some point."
Yep, I'll hold it.
You're able to get to the Stormkeep.
I don't see like ghostly vision, or what the hell it's called, like astral magic vision, like lingering on this guy or anything, right? Like with my power, like magic aura, whatever it's called.
Which side?
Not. No, you don't.
Yeah, sorry, I don't see a point where it's alarming.
You don't.
It's just
You
like
don't see anything remarkable, magic or otherwise, about this guy.
okay, that's
You
fine.
just lift heavy things.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. So every once and again, he comes back and he's like, "I'll take it from here," and like picks it up and then passes it off and so on and so forth. And you eventually make it to the Stormkeep. And you see a bunch of Stormcasts standing outside, and a bunch of what look like elven guards clad in like black plate, and black helmets with halberds, standing opposite of them. And as you approach the Stormkeep, one of the Stormcasts notices you and kind of just holds out her hand and says, "Halt! What business do you have here?"
We have a delivery for the Inquisitor.
On orders of the council.
The Lord Veritan?
The one and only.
She looks over to the other guards, the elven guards, and says, "Is this a part of your master's meeting?" And they look back and say, Not to our knowledge.
Is
We're
Thystra here or
supposed to
something?
be keeping this relatively discreet, so we should probably move in quickly.
We definitely want to get out of vision. We do not want it to become a spectacle.
O'Kyron kind of shouts. He says, "Look, I'm dying over here. Let me put this down."
I thought no, Loris is carrying it now.
It
They've
was
been
back
they've been
and
taking
forth.
We've
turns.
been going back and forth, back and
Oh,
forth.
okay, okay.
And he's like, "But let me put this down. Come on." And he's like, very like forceful with it. And the Stormcast say, "Okay, all right. Yeah, come on. Go on through." As you're walking by, you can hear the Stormcast mutter. First Thystra shows up on our doorstep, and now this. What's going on here? And they let you through.
I'm
And
kinda
you
surprised
all
they let
can
Thystra
clearly
in.
hear that as you're walking through.
I'm gonna say I'm really surprised they let Thystra in here since they're harboring Kamenos, who's trying to avoid Thystra.
Well, Thystra's the magic one, and
She's the mob boss.
yeah,
The one we found out is involved with the coal thing. Or I keep forgetting the name. It's fucking Coil.
Black Scale Coil.
Black Scale Coil. I just fucking referenced WoW instead because I'm brilliant.
So you're let in. You kind of have to wait in the courtyard for a little bit, but you're greeted with a Stormcast that comes out and welcomes you in.
Is it
And
Martinez?
no, this is not Martinez. Basically says, "Come." Walks over and approaches all of five of you and says, "You've picked a under breath is like you picked a really awkward time to come in here. Martinez is waiting inside to the off by the mess hall. If you wouldn't mind hurrying in there."
sure thing.
The Stormcast looks at Okara and is like, "And who's this?"
He's
Wait.
one of the dock workers. Well, helping us. He certainly earned a meal, so we'll set him up when we get to the mess hall.
He nods and he's like, "Yeah, let's. I could definitely use a meal, definitely." And he like walks on in, and as he walks in, he like pops back on. He's like, "Which way is the hall? Or are you gonna leave me there?"
Yeah, we guide him, right? Because that's where we're headed to.
Yep.
He said just to. Okay.
Yeah. So you get to the mess hall. Martinez, you can see, is sitting at a table. He's seems very perturbed, and he seems like he's like tapping his foot, kind of fidgeting a bit, and he does not seem like he's particularly happy. Upon seeing your party walk in, he stands up, straightens himself out, and approaches the five of you.
I'm gonna be setting up Okarin and Charwind at a table with some food if I can. I'm gonna try to, at least. Just all
Okay.
smiles and here you go. Long day. Worked hard. You've earned
Sure.
this.
So you go sit them down, and Charwind, Okarin have a seat, and you could see that two other Stormcast come and sit down at their same table, and then they start chatting. And there's conversation to be had. You kind of see that Charwind is back in his old form. He's exaggerating his tales and such. So at the very least, there's that. Martinez approaches. He almost looks expectingly, and he's like, "Is there, like, what do you have for me? Like, do you understand what's going on at the moment?"
No,
I
tell
don't
us about
understand what's going on with
Thystra.
Thystra.
We have a lot of terrifying information, but you start.
Thystra showed up a short while ago with her retinue and is currently meeting in the Lord Veritan's office alone with him, which I already don't like.
Doesn't she have like magic? Couldn't she potentially like sway him or something?
I don't think sway him.
He looks at you and he's like, there's Von Brecht would never.
I don't know
I'm
how
more
magic
worried.
works.
I'm more worried about. He like leans in. He's like, he is old. He has seen a lot, and he has been reforged more times than anyone else here. It's not that he can't do his job. It's that I am concerned in his. You've seen him hobble,
His advanced
Right.
state,
If she
yeah.
assaulted him, he would be at a disadvantage.
and he's the only one keeping this city going at the moment.
Just take us to the office.
Where he gave express orders to not enter his office.
Is Kaminos still secure here?
Kaminos is still secure here.
Okay. Well,
Anything else we should know before we dump on you? Because it's been quite an evening.
He looks at you and he says, "Well, no, nothing else really. Though I guess there's a slight shakeup, if you would call it that, with the within the council.
A what?
I can't exactly say it's big news because I don't really much care for it, and to be honest, I don't really understand how it happened in the first place. But apparently, Krell is since deceased.
Okay. This is connected to our information then.
Krell had sent us under the city to deal with a group of Skaven that were building some sort of plague device that would hurt the city. So I guess that might have been where the original alliance with Krell came into play, is he would help make sure that was dealt with. Now that's dealt with, maybe Krell is no longer of importance to the council.
I think a more reasonable conclusion is to say that the barrels that belong to Alana at the site of the plague manufacturing are connected to Alana and she killed him.
Right. I think,
It's possible,
ironically, Krell was advancing what we want here by sending us down there, and found himself at odds with the bulk of the council.
Yeah, it's possible Krell knew he couldn't do anything himself without getting killed, so he kind of just nudged us there.
It sounds like he got killed anyway.
Well, it sounds like he may have been killed, like,
Right.
if he outright did it himself or something.
And the other concerning thing is we went to one of Ulana's warehouses and found an office that's referenced as for the higher-ups, and it was full of corpses of many kinds.
Including a Caradron.
He looks at you upon saying this. He's like, "I'm sorry, what?"
So we believe that the Ulana's warehouse down by the docks is probably the main source of all the cultist activity. I would assume she's in on it,
bodies there.
but if she's not, that's concerning. Charwind over there, and I'll just sort of like nudge my head, was what's the Alex can't remember the word, like not Shanghai, but like was like tricked into
Hoodwinked?
kinda, yeah, it was sort of hoodwinked into helping them. Clearly got in over his head, didn't want to be helping them, ended up revealing a lot of this information to us. So hopefully he can be kept protected and safe, as seems like he has a lot of useful information and was quite abused by this group. So there's a lot going on there. Not really even sure where to begin.
As for the dock worker, He saw us leaving the building and we didn't want him to go around and tell
Yeah,
other potential cultists.
might be worth questioning him as well, but I leave that to your judgment.
Shadel, highs or lows?
We saw your roll.
Yep,
Oh.
highs or lows. I was rolling to see which one of you gets to pick.
Oh, okay.
Highs.
Let's see it, Frank.
Okay.
Oh no.
As this is going on, and as you're filling in Martinez, I'm gonna... Joe, you're primarily filling in Martinez?
I imagine, yeah, if there's any other gaps, I'll happily fill in. I feel like she's well equipped as the investigator bounty hunter
Sure.
type.
So as this is going on, and as you're talking to him, you're coming to like the end of your conversation, or your end of filling them in, and you see like the rest of you like can make out like a commotion over at the table with Charwind and Akarian or Karin, and you see like one of the Stormcast is like removed like one of their vambraces and is like showing off like a tattoo that they have, and you see like Charwind like rolls up his sleeve and like shows that he's got a tattoo on his arm, and then you notice that Okarin kind of like removes his shirt and kind of like points at his back, and right as he points at his back in like a jovial sense, those Stormcasts stand up and grab their weapons and then shout for Martinez.
What is the tattoo on his back?
It's a Nurgle symbol.
Amazing.
You're fucking kidding me.
This guy looks extremely surprised as these Stormcasts pin him to the table, and Martinez looks back after you're finished talking, like right as you finish talking with him, sees what's going on, and then looks back at the rest of you and is like, "Did you just bring a cultist into my storm fort?"
That's what we were just saying. We had to deal with him somehow.
Does he even know he's a cultist?
Legitimately,
I don't
you
know if he's a
you
cultist.
decided to bring a legit... I thought he was...
Breathe, my man. Breathe.
We weren't entirely sure one way or another. We just knew it was possible.
We think he's a sucker that got roped into this.
And
And
honestly,
has
a
no idea
lot of
what's
people
going
in
on.
the
He's
docks probably
so
are.
dense, he had no idea what was going on. Then when he realized it, he couldn't get out.
He lets out an incredible sigh, and then he says, "Okay, all of you come with me." And then he walks over to the table. He motions to the Stormcast that's currently pinning him down, and then he just kind of grabs Okarin and just lifts him up and just holds him down and says, "I'm told your name's Okarin, yes?" He says, yeah, what did I do wrong? Is there something... did I do something wrong here, sir?" Martinez looks at him and says, "Well, you stand accused of being a cultist to..." And he kind of turns him around, turns him back, and says, "Well, the tattoo designates you as being a cultist to Nurgle. And your friends here say that you were working with other cultists," as he motions towards you.
Those weren't
So,
our exact words.
"Please tell me why I do not just kill you here and now for being a cultist." And Okarin looks extremely nervous upon hearing "kill," and Bessiv's ability like brings his hands together, clasped together, and starts very clearly begging.
So-
He says, "Please, It's just the lads and I down at the docks. We all decided to one day get a tattoo, and it was to like show that we're. I don't know what it is. Everyone else is just getting it. I've got. Look, man. I got a family. I don't know. It was just camaraderie.
And I'm gonna step up and say, look, I think part of the issue here is that they've just been slowly getting people involved one way or another, whether they realize it or not, making it harder once this actually breaks to find out who's truly a cultist and who isn't. This man may in fact be innocent, just easily duped, and we duped him into.
He may
coming
also
over
not
here.
be. Like, I don't want to,
That as well. So, what do you know of Nurgle? And I'm gonna watch for signs of any lies or anything here.
He looks at you and he's like, I don't.
Think hard. Where have you heard the name? What do you know? Tell us everything.
I know it's one of the dark gods, but I don't. Look, It's not exactly the easiest thing to come about. And he looks around. He's like, it's not like they keep books or anything on it. It's. I just know the myths and the stories. I don't know anything beyond that.
I'm gonna turn to
you can give me-
Martinez and like give him a. Oh yeah, do I believe him? I guess is question
You
one.
can give me like an intuition, like 4-2.
Boost my 3 to a 4 for success.
Sure. You could tell that it's like a half truth.
You're not telling us
He's-
everything. Look, he's going to kill you if you don't tell us the whole truth.
Man sweating. He says, "Look, if I didn't do anything wrong, am I going to?" He kind of like tries to look at Martinus, but he's holding him far away from him, as far away as he can. Am I going to be prosecuted?
That's not for
If you
me to
don't start
determine.
talking, I'm gonna kill you myself.
He eyes go wide. Look, I started at the docks a little while ago, a couple weeks, about a month and a half. I wanted to join in, fit in with my work with the fellow coworkers, and they were all, they were all showing off these tattoos, and they were all, you know, it looked like they were a big family, and they had each other's backs and all that, and well, I wanted to be part of the gang, and that's I got this, and I didn't know I don't know the meaning or anything. I just fell in with it.
I'm gonna turn to Martinez and say, and do you think if he really did know the meaning, that he would just take his shirt off and show it in this place
Middle
of
of
all
your
places?
barracks.
He is a bit of an idiot, but I don't think he
He's a
would do
pretty
that.
next level idiot.
Martinus looks at you, looks at this guy, and just kind of throws him on the ground and says, I mean, cultists are stupid, but I don't think they're that stupid.
This guy seems like a half-baked cultist. You said you have a family.
Yeah, I got a couple kids that I adopted.
Oh, good. So not in your gene pool.
What a fucking bird!
He looks at you, he's like, I don't even know what that means. I'm not wearing denim.
You adopted children and you've been in a crowd with cultists.
I mean, they were just a couple street rats that, I feel for them.
So if we go find them, they're not going to have a tattoo like this on them.
Oh, no. They beg down by, well, they beg down to the other side of town for a bit of cash and such, so,
Okay.
everyone's got to bring home what they can. He nervous chuckle.
All right, Martinus, you're not my favorite person, but let's get the show on the road.
Martinus looks at him. He's like, looks at the other Stormcast and goes, "Put him in chains until we can figure out what to do with him. Like, this isn't what I was expecting today. I was expecting just to deal with the Thystra business
Good thing
here."
we brought him with us.
Hey, Martinus, and I'm gonna sort of wave my bread. Can you start doing your job?
He looks at you and he's like,
That's not for you to decide.
"What do you want me to do?
I want to go see what's going on in the Veritan's room. Dystra's in there. We've just discovered that she's a person of interest in this. Why are you dragging your feet?
Fine, let's go." And he storms off.
Like, what's his excuse? The Veritan's been reforged like a million times. He looks pretty fresh.
He storms off, and he's looking back and chatting as he goes. He's like, "Look, we take orders and we follow them, and I know the Lord Veritan is not one to want to have his orders disobeyed, so you have to please forgive
I'm just
me."
gonna come kick down the door. He and I are pals. We'll work it out.
Okay. You kick down the door. You see the Lord Veritan sitting up in his chair. He has the light on, and then you see just kind of like reclined in front of you. She's got her legs kicked up on another chair, just like reclining back. Thystra just sitting there. The Lord Veritant seems taken aback by this sudden entrance. Thystra just kind of like turns and looks.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're here.
I'm just gonna stride in and say, hey, we got a problem. Lana and her company are front for cultists.
The Nurgles.
The Lord Veritant looks at you, looks at Thystra, and then looks at Martinus and says, "Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay, so we have collaboration then, I guess."
Yeah.
And then
Hey, Dystra, what happened to Krell?
She looks over at you all, and then she kind of just reaches in her pocket and pulls out this object on a chain and just kind of throws it towards you guys.
Is it Warpstone?
And you see this Warpstone amulet. You catch this Warpstone amulet, and she says, "I didn't need him anymore." And she nods and says, "I also have to thank you for working so well with him, anyway." The Lord Veritant speaks up and says, "Well, at the very least, we have, as I said, collaboration between Councilman Thystra here and your claims, anyway." And Thystra, kicks back, looks over at you all, and says, "Yes, it's almost like we planned this perfectly. I come in, I say that I suspect Alana as being a cultist. You come in, you bring back additional evidence and say that Alana's a cultist, and we get this moving, yeah?"
So, the only tricky part is, we know her company is, we know her warehouse is. Do we know how close she is to her work, or does she just sort of lord over it and not really know what's going on? Because my only concern here is, we've been turned around quite a few times here, is if someone else has set this all up in one of her warehouses.
Joe, the barrel of defoliant we found in the sewers is probably the one she had wheeled out into the council chambers.
Alright.
Or at least one of them.
Thystra looks at all of you and says, "I mean, I can't tell if it's really the one, but look, Krell was a pawn. Krell was to give me information on the rest of them. I mean, who better to sift through the trash than one of his lot? And he was always under control. There was never a threat there, that's for certain. And well, he drenched up quite a bit, after all. And you, assuming you all dealt with the problem in the basement as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be no plague coming from them.
So, Frankie, she sounds incredibly confident with all this. Is she just telling the truth after having succeeded along, like, well thought out plan, or is she hiding something?
This woman seems like she is completely forward with you.
Okay.
She, like, there is no sense of doubt on her voice.
Yeah, Joe's gonna give like a discerning look for a few more seconds and then just kind of nod and just listen.
Cool. So that's the Nurgle thing. What about the Black Scale?
Uh,
Oh, man.
she gets hesitant. Very clearly hesitant. She says, "Well, what about the Black Scale? Are you questioning my loyalties to the great Lord Veritan here?"
Yeah, I probably am.
I mean, we know you're connected to them, and we know the Black Scale is connected to
The elves
their
outside
branch.
were asking, like, yeah, look, let's not
She-
make any secret about it.
She like kind of puts her hands up and says, "Yes, I'm the leader. That's me. It's almost like you have already known, and it's like the Lord Veritant knows. Look, my dealings are strictly for my own betterment. And my own betterment means that I need to keep Anvilgard in the status quo. And if Ulana is going to come in here and uproot that, be it with her pirates or her business dealings or cultists, I need to put a stop to it. Because if anything changes, it's bad for business."
Explain what's his name to me.
Communist?
That clown who's supposed to be the liaison to the Stormcast. What's his name?
He-
Not Commodus, the other one.
Martin?
Kravich?
Yeah, Kravitz.
Oh, Kravitch. Oh, yeah.
What's his deal?
She looks at you and is like, "What about Kravich?
Well, he's a bit of a daughter, but like, what's your grip on him?
He's a goody two-shoes. He's done nothing."
Really?
That doesn't check out with what we know.
She seemed... What, did you say that aloud?
Yeah.
She says, "And what do you know?"
Just kind of eye her up and down and turn to the party.
I thought the only thing
Tell
I had
her.
was a suspicion. Yeah, I don't actually recall us having anything
Well,
concrete on
it's he had so player
Yeah.
We
he
know
had
he was
the
lying.
he had the amulet. He clearly knows shit about the Black Scale Coil, and he had like the map of the Black Scale Coil days, and so the weird
Lied badly about not knowing.
yeah,
what
and
they
so the
are.
weird thing here is if
So you're-
she's saying I'm aligned with them and she doesn't know he is or is trying to hide that he is, like that's now
So
where
you're saying...
Joe's
You're
No.
basically saying all this to her?
this is
Yeah.
player just making
Yeah,
sure I've got it right. So
Right.
Joe's just kind of
That's basically
staring her down, and saying it's I guess another problem for another day.
She looks at you and is like, why don't you... What better time than in the office of the Lord Veritant and in the presence of the leader of the most hated organization in the city? Is there... What better time than the present?
I'm gonna look past her to the Lord Veritant and be like, Lord Veritant, do you have what I was promised from earlier? That information?
He looks down on his desk and you can see a very clear like set of papers, and he just kind of points a finger down at them and like jabs
May
it
I?
into the papers. Say again?
I'm just like, may I, and start walking towards to grab them.
He kind of like... He picks them up and he just hands them off to you.
I'm gonna walk to the corner and go read.
Okay. Thystra, upon seeing this, like looks around impatient. Like, does anyone want to fill me in about what she just said.
As the leader, shouldn't you know?
Sounds like there's factions.
Know what? Kravich isn't one of mine.
He certainly is affiliated with the Coil.
What did he say to you?
He disavowed knowledge of it when he clearly had knowledge of it.
I showed him the from the corner. I showed him the symbol, and he acted surprised about it. But I'm not that stupid. He knew exactly
He's a terrible
what it was.
actor as well.
She looks up to the Lord Veritant and says, Lord Veritant, I have to be off.
What about the Nurgles?
I provided you with all the information I have on Ulana, Lord Veritant. I have to tend to something. There might be dissension in my...
Well, hang on. Let's talk remuneration.
Also, could you not murder the other council member who seems to
No,
be doing
that's
quite
fine.
good?
I
for
don't
the
like
war-
that.
Yeah.
No, I mean he actually. I looked at his notes. He's doing good for Anvil God. If he ends up dead, we're gonna know what happened here. So keep him protected, I guess, or something.
Are you talking about Kravich?
Yeah. Joe is now concerned that Kravich's life is in danger.
I mean, do the notes say he's doing good?
Yeah, Frank, didn't he have like actual like
oh,
looked
no,
like
I
a
mean like the notes
politician
you
who...
just got from the Lord Veritant.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought that's what you were referencing.
Alex doesn't know what he's read yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, it's a pleasure to see her flustered for once.
the Lord Veritant kind of just is very much in silence throughout all of this, and he kind of waits and hears everything that's being said and holds up a hand and says, Dystra, you may leave. We can't have the Black Scale Coil meting out justice and taking down cultists. It's not your job, and also we don't need a panic in the streets with your goons running around. Do not make a move against Kravich without first clearing it by my office. That is all. Dystra looks at him and, like, nods and says, Of course, Lord Veritant, if anything to help the betterment of the city, I live to serve. And she bows and walks out.
What does the paper say, Frank?
The papers you have?
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to know about... These were about your parents, right?
Yeah, so Joe's
Yeah.
father and brother were what she's looking about, because they essentially joined the guard and then got killed, and it got somehow, like, there was no information, seemed like it got covered up, and she's always been wondering what corruption led to that cover up.
Yeah. In this file, you basically read over reports from the guard, reports from like various business owners and various individuals in the streets, like witness testimony and such for your missing family. You are able to make out that they were very clearly... that your father was very clearly following up on a case, or following up on a report pertaining to the Black Scale Coil. doing illicit dealings down on one of the main market streets here in Anvilgard. Your father, unluckily, or I guess by doing his job, your father put himself in the way of black-scale coil dealings and went to the guard to report them and seek safety and refuge. But the guard, well, the guard being what it is, was not able to afford him the protections that he was looking for himself and his family. And rather than make an enemy of the coil, turned your father and information about their whereabouts into the coil. This was information that was investigated and summarily covered up by the guard and the previous Lord Veritant of the city in an attempt to placate and maintain some level of neutrality, some level of communication and cooperation with the coil. Upon you reading through all this, the Lord Veritant just looks at you and says, Stormcast are true to their natures to a fault. I would, according to my duty, I have to protect the city with whatever means necessary. My predecessor was the same. He looks at you and says, but I would not have done what's outlined in those papers. I would not have covered up what happened here. Or at the very least, I would not have waited so long to provide what level of closure this does to the remaining family member. Like I said, despite being what we are still flawed in a way. I truly do hope you, at the very least, could forgive the city. I don't expect you to forgive the office, as he, gestures the chair that you sit in, but at the very least, forgive the people, or at the very least try and work with us to make it better.
Anyone watching Joe can see her right hand is holding the paper, still sort of eyes running over it again and again and again, and her left hand is balled in a fist, just blood leaking out from where her nails are digging into her skin, and she just, through gritted teeth, just says, "Yes, thank you," and just is kind of quiet after that.
Joe, you're bleeding.
Oh, so I am. Shall we get going then?
Yeah.
And where will you be heading? The Lord Veritant asks.
Well, what's her name just ditched, but we still have this Nurgle problem to contend with. This warehouse is full of corpses.
I mean, are we heading there, or are we gonna start mobilizing a force? Because
He looks at all of you and says, if you provide us with the information on where You provide us with the information on which warehouse this is in and where we would need to go for it. The problem is, if this is all true, which he nods as which I believe it at this point to be, if we storm this warehouse, surely dock workers will see, and then they will report back to their paymasters, who will report back to Lana, who will then flee the city. And I cannot have that. So, I also cannot simply walk a regiment to the council chambers in an attempt to root her out, because she has no doubt has another way out of the city. So, I ask that we cooperate. We will go root out. I will send a regiment to go root out the cult activity in the harbor, and I would ask that you're more. He kind of like narrows his eyes, looking at the sturdy bark, and Bagoosh, you're more stealthy group attempts to apprehend Ulana wherever she may be. He looks down at a piece of paper and says, they are scheduled to be having a session tomorrow, so at the very least, she should be present there.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright.
Sounds good.
He looks down at Joe and says, does that work for you?
So reading over it again, does she come to the conclusion that the previous Lord Veritan and like the guards who let this happen are long gone and dead, or that there's a good chance those guards, Lord Veritan's dead, but the previous guards might still be out there?
Previous guards might still be out there.
Okay. Then yeah, I did not complete a long-term goal, but yeah, she's gonna nod and just keep holding the paper.
Okay. The Lord Veritan kind of nods. He says, Martinus, mobilize a regiment to go down to the harbor and tell them there to clean out any cult activity. Use whatever lead you can. Use whatever information we have. And he says, and correspond that, or coincide that raid with tomorrow's council meeting, so they don't, or so Lana doesn't have, or has little opportunity to catch wind of what we're going on about then. The rest of you, as I said, bring me Alana's head, or at least bring her in chains. I might try her for high treason against Lord Sigmar, as he motions up towards the large banner behind him. Besides that, you're all dismissed. And he just gives a nod and a salute, and then leans down to continue reading over his papers.
All right.
It's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
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 I'll cut the stream. Bye, Twitch.